Well, hello there friends. It's been a hot minute since I was here. I know I did a declutter for you not long ago, which I will link up here if you haven't seen that one yet, but I haven't been uploading as much lately. So I wanted to give you a quick life update, a quick channel update, and what you can expect to see next year. So let's dive in. So first up, I have been quite active for the last 2 years, really, year and a half, over on my other channel, and I will link that up here if you haven't already checked it out and subscribed. And that channel is all about meal planning, meal prepping, and staying on top of your budget, mostly your grocery budget. So I found it really engaging and inspiring to do content over there, and if you're interested at all to get organized in that part of your world, feel free to subscribe. I will link the channel down below this video as well. So that's where I'm most active, and I do try to put out a weekly video, but I have also had some pretty big changes in the last 6+ months with work and other things. So I thought I'd bring you up to speed on those, and yeah. So I've been noticing for the past year or two that I've had a really deep desire to just slow down. I spent a big part of my life moving to different countries. If you're new to the channel, you might not know, but I was born and raised in Sweden. I've lived in England, I've lived in the UK, and I've lived in Australia now for 15 years, whilst my whole immediate family is over in Sweden. So it's been a bit of a ride, and I've been just craving this kind of settling in and rooting myself. And we've chosen not to have kids, so I'm very happily child-free. But it's one of those things, I guess, where as you mature through life, your priorities really change. And the other thing I've been feeling is that I have been hustling hard. Most of my career I have worked in comms and marketing, but I've done project management, I've done a bunch of different things. And I also have been running a career coaching business in the background for quite a few years. And I was just noticing that I was like stretched in all these different directions. So probably 2 years ago, I started to gradually evolve into kind of minimalism version 2.0, if I would call it that, for me. This doesn't have to look this way for you, of course, but for me, minimalism is not just being on top of your money and having your space, which I'm loving, absolutely loving my space. I do have a couple of videos that you can check out if you want to see more about the house that I live in. My husband and I actually built this, well, the builders built it, and we've been living here for coming up to 3 years, actually. It's gone quick. So what I've really noticed during this time is I don't love working in an office, and I don't love working full-time for somebody else. I have been running my own business as a coach for a little while, and whilst I still enjoy that and work with clients over there, again, I will link the website down below if you're interested at all. But beyond that, I've been leaning into YouTube content creation. I've done a lot on this channel in the past, and there are many, many playlists for you with hours worth of content for you to check out if you're interested. But it really has been evolving, and whilst my other channel has taken a lot of my energy, I've been feeling just, stretched and split and all that sort of stuff. So I made a pretty big change in my career earlier this year in June. So let me tell you about that. So after many years of working full-time and sometimes part-time for other people, I started to notice that this whole return to the physical office mandate didn't really work all that well for me. Also, where we've chosen to live and where we built our home is about more than an hour away from Melbourne, Australia, which is our nearest big city. So whilst we made it work, and for a while we had a little separate apartment, which I've done a little video on when we renovated that apartment. I will link that card up here as well as down below. But it was a really old rundown apartment. We did a mini reno on it, and it was basically our home in the city. But we found ourselves commuting back and forth and constantly hustling. And I remember just asking myself, like, what's the point? Why are we working so hard to earn this money, to be constantly burnt out and basically always needing the weekend to just recharge? So you can probably see why making videos wasn't my priority at this time. So I put it out there to the universe whilst doing the hard work. You can't just wish for things to change. So I put it out there to the universe to find a fully remote part-time job that I could do from my beautiful home that I love, and be able to organize my time and my week so that I could lean into my creative projects, my coaching work, and other things that I also enjoy. Because I think there are so many of us who are multi-passionate, but then because of family and other things, we just don't have enough time. And this is what I mean by Minimalism 2.0. So let me dive in a little bit deeper to my thoughts around that. So I guess that's just a long-winded way of saying that I have been decluttering a lot in my logistical world. Budget-wise, my husband and I are really aligned, which is amazing because it means that we can always adjust our budget to our circumstances, and we're very much on the same page. And I'm grateful to have a partnership where talking about money isn't weird. We're also both naturally tidy people, probably me slightly more than him, but we do love having systems in place and having everything have a home so that it's easy to put things away. And almost always, the last thing we do before we go to bed is that we do a joint effort for 5 minutes and just reset the space, reset the kitchen, so that when we wake up in the morning, it's nice and clean. So that part of our world worked really well, but the logistical side, and I really encourage you to think about this if you are a bit of a minimalist, is to think about your time. Think about where you spend your energy, because whilst your space can be beautiful and organized and you can have all the schedules and budgets in the world, if you're constantly feeling burnt out, you're simply trying to cram too much time and too much things into things. And in my case, I was spending a lot of time commuting back and forth to a job that I didn't particularly like. It was in comms and marketing, and I felt like I'd really kind of outgrown that space. So back in June, I basically decided to leave the role I was in, and the stars aligned. I was actively applying for work. I was actively putting myself out there, and it felt hard because I'd probably been looking at that point for about 5 months to find a job that suited me and that was sort of changing up what I used to do, because I was kind of sick of comms and marketing in the traditional sense, and I wanted something a little bit different. And I stumbled on a very different role, which is still similar, I guess, in a way, in the customer success space, which has been amazing. I absolutely love the company. I love my boss. I love my hours. I love the flexibility. I love the clients I get to support. And it made me realize just how much happier you are when you streamline the rest of your world, not just your space. Don't get me wrong, you got to start in your space, because what you look at every single day will stress you out if it's not working for you. So I guess that's a way of saying that my focus has been on slowing down rather than hustling, which is why I've been doing slightly fewer videos here on the channel. But that said, I've had a lot of ideas, creative thoughts, and things like that I want to continue to share on this channel. So this channel will remain. And what you're gonna expect to see, I'm gonna aim for a video a week. Some weeks that might not happen, but most weeks I will try to put out a video, and it's gonna be a mix of tips and tricks on how to organize your life, your schedule, your space, that kind of stuff. Meal prep, meal planning, and budgeting stuff is mostly going to be over on the other channel, so do subscribe to that one if you're interested in that kind of stuff and getting organized in that part of your world. And I do love helping other people declutter and create systems and create a space that can really help them form a strong foundation in their life, in their family life, in their schedule, and things like that. So there will be decluttering support for other people as well, intermixed in all of this. So with all that said, I would love to have you continue to stay a subscriber here to the channel. I absolutely love all the comments from you all, and please do let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see more of. I know I've got requests for minimalist makeup. I know I've got requests for minimalist jewelry. So those are definitely on my list to film and talk about in the near future. But if there's anything else in particular that you love hearing about or you'd like me to film, let me know down there in the comments as well. And the final thing as we head into the busy holiday season is to give yourself permission to not get swept up in the hustle, in the crazy amount of gifts or expectations for the holidays, or overstretching yourself to accommodate other people. If you needed a loving reminder today that you can press pause at any time, and you can also reframe at any time. Just because something is a tradition or used to be a certain way or used to be X amount of gifts or X amount of hosting or whatever that is, you can press pause and regroup and say, actually, that's not working for me anymore. Can we consider X? It's hard to say no to people, but I have found it easier in the process I've been through and continue to go through with my Minimalism 2.0, is that it's easier to say no if you're offering an option. So, sorry, I'm not able to host Christmas lunch anymore at my house. How about X? So it is okay to say no. It's okay to press pause. It's okay to love yourself, love your space, love those people closest to you, and remind yourself of what's really important to you, because that's really all that minimalism is. When we start to strip things back and calm things down, we come back to our core principles. And for me personally, it is really important for me to eat well, move my body, be creative, and feel like I'm contributing. And I'm hoping to do all of those things, or some of those things, through this channel, as well as through my other YouTube channel. So love yourself, look after yourself. I look forward to see you next week with a bit more of a deep dive into the space minimalization I have done recently, including the said apartment I mentioned before. So anyway, stay tuned for that. That's coming out soon, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video.